welcome to another episode of The Way I See It, the video version of my podcast, which is on Spotify. And today, this is episode 3, and I am reading chapter 5 of my book, Running Chronicles, 21 Lessons I Learned from Running. It's on Amazon. Feel free to purchase it and start reading it yourself. And this chapter is called Cry If I Want To. I don't remember what happened, but it was upsetting enough to have me cry. As I ran in the rain, the tears ran freely down my face. It didn't matter that I was crying in public as I ran because no one could see my tears. There is a liberation in that moment when you can cry openly. I don't know if you've done it before, but there we are. As the rain washed away my tears, it also brought the healing and the peace I needed to make at the moment with whatever had upset me. A lot of times we hurt and no one sees our pain. We have become so accomplished at keeping our pain and tears hidden from people. However, it is important to cry our tears because there is healing in our tears. It is important to acknowledge the pain and release the hurt. Society makes us embarrassed to cry. It shows weakness, and nobody has time for weak people. Society is all about the strongest and the winner who takes all. It is untrue that we can be strong all the time. It is important that we allow the weakness in sometimes, so we don't become hardened and cynical and unable to empathize with others. Crying not only brings the healing and relief we need, it makes us stronger and better. So let the tears flow sometimes when you need to. And that just reminds me of this thing where they say, black women are, everybody's going on about black women are strong. I don't subscribe to that at all in any way, shape or form. Because by doing that, it's like anything can be done to us, or like we don't deserve softness and gentleness and empathy and compassion, so I don't subscribe to that. I am not strong all the time. I do what I need to do. I work hard. I do what I need to do. But there are moments when things get to me and I give myself 100% permission to absolutely cry. I think I'm not sure if you've seen the Lopa, but the song, it's my party and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to. It's so important that we can cry. Let yourself down, let the guard down, let the heart down. Let your tears just wash away that pain, just cleanse that area and then start again and then build yourself up again. So I just want to, that's the lesson I had from that, as you know, because this book is based on lessons I learned from running. As I cried that day as I ran, I realized that I was receiving healing and I was receiving wholeness as I let my tears just fall and take that pain away. So I just encourage you that sometimes when you have to, you need to cry. You need to let that thing come out and not keep everything in. It can't be good for you. It can't be good for you. All right, so my hashtags are hashtag crying, hashtag healing, hashtag rain, hashtag be stronger, hashtag be wiser. And of course, learn, hopefully, the lesson that you need to learn once you've finished crying. So the second chapter I'm going to read is chapter 6, and it says, the destination awaits. The destination awaits. And remember, I'm reading from my book, Running Chronicles, 21 Lessons I Learned from Running. It's on Amazon. Feel free to go and get one. The destination awaits. When I leave the house to go for a run, I know my final destination is to go back home. I can get tired on the way. I can use a longer route or a different route. But my mind is locked into the fact that I am running back home. Right? So when you leave home, you're coming back home, right? You always have a destination. And when you're leaving home to go to work, you have a destination, right? Even if the sat nav is taking you round and round and round, you still have a destination that you have to get to. So you leave with almost like the end in mind. So sometimes I get to a point, usually going uphill, and I feel the pain. The thighs hurt, I get too hot, and all I want to do is stop. Or it might be that I have not run for a few days and I start running again. Oh, the agony. It's not a good one, that one. But then I think, I left home for a reason. I have a purpose and a destination. I set out to run back home. And that is what I must do. I remind myself why I set out in the first place. If I stop running, I will not get to my destination. My destination is there waiting for me to get to it. I can only do that if I keep running towards it. And I think in the second episode of this, I was talking about how I was in a hire car and I used their sat-nav to go on a 90-minute journey. And the sat-nav took me on a 3-hour journey, basically, twice the time. And I remember being so upset and frustrated by just the fact that I was just going round and round, that I wanted to park the car and just cry. And I remember saying to myself, well, what's the point of stopping and crying? I still have to get up and drive to where I'm going. I'm going to a destination. I'm not going to the side of the road to stop there, right? So there is a destination and I have to keep moving. You have to keep moving. So if you stop running, you will not get to your destination. There is a clear view of my destination in my mind. I know exactly where I am headed. So I keep running till I get back home, and by so doing, I fulfill my mission. It's the same with life. There are times when it seems impossible. The aim cannot be achieved. The pain is too great. The price is too high. The work is too much. But remind yourself why you started running in the first place. Why? So important. What was the purpose you set out to achieve? Renew your objective. Remember your vision, your purpose, and keep running. There's a reason you left the house. There's a reason you said, this is my vision. This is what I want to achieve. Why did you choose that? Or was it just a fluke? Was it just something you took from a friend or something you thought was cool? If your vision or your reason for starting out isn't powerful or great enough or motivational enough for you, I guess it'd be easy to drop it. But if it is great for you, if it is something that will inspire you, that will cause you to move, then I believe you will keep moving. So it's the same with business. There is a destination. It must be as clear, as tangible, and as real as the house you are running towards. And I just have to say as well, in being truthful here, it's not always so. For me personally, I know that I have a vision and there's something. I want to have a TV studio and make films. Tyler Perry is my go-to, right? I want to do that. And but sometimes, I can lose sight of that, I think. I can lose sight of that. You can be so bogged down by the journey, by the sat-nav taking you round and round, by life, by the situations that come up, that you kind of forget your vision, your purpose. Like, okay, for me, I can even be kind of like automated working. I don't know, where, okay, every morning I get up, I work. But am I moving towards my vision? Am I moving towards my studio and my filmmaking that I want to do? Am I moving towards that every day? And so it's so important sometimes to get up and just remind ourselves of why we got up in the first place and not be too bogged down and be owned by all these little things we do, which are amazing. I do a lot of things which are amazing. I do fantastic work. But sometimes I think that I can get bogged down by everything, bogged down by people, bogged down by requirements, and not necessarily be pushing towards my vision. And we have to remember to do that. So you might get tired. Given how challenging life is, there will be obstacles, there will be troubles. You might take longer than you planned. You might change the route or plan you originally had to get there. I think life kind of changes anyway. I thought, obviously, as I finished uni and things, I thought my life would just be a straight path to my studio and so on. But it hasn't been. There has been lots of twists and turns. There have been lots of ups and downs. There have been lots of circles and straights. And I think what's important is keeping the destination in mind and being able to pivot. There's a small video I made called about the river being like the river, and in it I talk about how the river flows, and even when it comes to an obstacle, so there's a boulder, massive boulder in the middle of its path, the river doesn't start hitting against the boulder to say, move out of my way. This is the path. This is this straight path I'm going to go. This is the way. No, the water it's just flexible. It just kind of moves its body around that boulder and moves on. And so sometimes when life doesn't kind of provide us with that straight path, I think it's important that we're able to pivot or we're able to be flexible. I'm completely gone off my book here, but I think you can learn the lessons, right? If you want to read the book straight as it is, you can just buy it from Amazon. It's called 21 Lessons. It's called Running Chronicles, 21 Lessons I Learned from Running. So you might change the route, or life will change it for you. It always does. For example, I never planned to live in England, but I do now. So, God had a different plan for my life. So if, however, you keep the destination clearly in your mind and you keep running, I believe that you will get there. I believe I will get there. Set your vision once more in clear view before you. You and me both. If you haven't written it down, write it down. Be clear about it. Set it before you and don't stop moving towards it. It is there. It is waiting for you. You simply need to keep running towards it. I do believe we came on earth, each of us, to do something, to achieve something, for a purpose. We looked down on earth as spirit beings and we thought, I've got to come down to earth to fulfill that purpose. So let's fulfill. Let's achieve that. Let's do that. And so hashtag I have here, keep running. I hashtag driven by purpose. Hashtag purpose driven life. Hashtag don't stop now. All right, people. So that's the end of The Way I See It, this episode of The Way I See It. And remember, the chapters we've looked at, the destination awaits and cry if I want to. All right. So sometimes, we know the destination awaits and it can get really hard. Remember to let yourself cry when you need to, but strengthen yourself and keep moving. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it was inspiring for you. I hope you're encouraged to know that, it's not as easy as we thought it would be. It's not as straightforward, but we just keep the destination in mind. We just keep the place that we're going to in mind. And every day we wake up and we take a step. Every day we wake up and we take a step. And see you again on The Way I See It. Thank you.